I get approached by SaaS founders all the time. They say, TK, I've got a product, we've got revenues, but our growth, it's a little stalled. It's not quite where we want it to be. What do we do? Here's the thing. With every SaaS business I've ever looked at or worked on, the one thing to first look at when it comes to a stalled SaaS business is your value proposition and your story. You look at the value proposition, how you tell that value proposition in a story, and you can fix that. If you can actually fix that, you can 10x your growth and your valuation. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to fix your value proposition. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face, entrepreneur, startup founder, and I also run the SaaS Startup School, where I help startup founders like you go from 0 to 3 million ARR real fast. On this channel, I bring an episode like this with the TK energy every Sunday and Wednesday to help you grow your SaaS business. So if you're new, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified when I drop an episode. If you're a startup founder and you're starting to have revenues and you've got a product in the market and the growth is not quite right, you may start to notice that how you tell the story around your product, how you position the value around your product can mean life or death for your SaaS business. Knowing everything that I've learned from taking ToutApp from 0 to 7 million ARR, we sold ToutApp to Marketo, and knowing everything I learned at Marketo, which was a different scale SaaS business, here are my three principles. My three principles are right here. I'm gonna walk you through to actually get your value proposition right, and the one thing you can do to deliver your value proposition through the right story. So if you're excited to dig in, smash that like button and let's go right into it. When it comes to a value proposition, and this takes a lot of work to get it right, but I like to know what the one sentence value proposition is. When you've done a lot of work and a lot of customer discovery, when you've started to close a lot of deals and you really work on it, you finally get to this one sentence value proposition. And it goes something like this. My company, blank, the name of your company, creates software, it's primarily for software, for ICP, this is your core initial customer profile or your ideal customer profile, that helps them blank, the one result that they do. So when I started ToutApp, it was all over the place. It was like we help people that send a lot of emails stop copying and pasting and send emails faster. And eventually, by the time we sold it and even after, we're like, look, we help salespeople close more deals. That's all. That's what we do. And even more specifically, we help salespeople create pipeline consistently. We got really specific about our one sentence value proposition, and it fit into this format. Now, if you can't quite fit it in this format and you're like, TK, my thing is so much more complicated than that, I get it. In the early days, I was the same way. And it takes a lot of work and some courage to actually distill it down to this simple form. But once you're able to do this, you'll know you're really getting honed in on your ICP and your value proposition. So this is sort of a benchmark that you want to just have note of, okay? Principle number 2 is you got to think about your ICP. So you'll notice that the first blank in here is the ICP. So that's my second principle, which is you got to get very specific. Now remember, the saying that I love is the riches are in the niches. So if you've got the entire world over here, you actually need to get super focused on your initial customer profile. I work with a lot of founders that want to take over the world and build multi-billion-dollar companies, and I get that. But Amazon started by selling books online. Now they sell everything to everyone, everywhere. What I mean by that is you still need to get an initial customer profile so you earn the right to expand. I did an entire set of videos on how to build an ideal customer profile. I'll link to it below so that you can check more of those out as you start to define it. But it's super important. In order to get to your value prop, you got to get super specific about who your ICP is. Now, you'll notice that your ICP is just a part of it. The other is this result. Now, you got to distill what your software does to one very specific result. And that result has to be directly tied to the comp plan of the user that uses your product. If it's not tied to that, it's not going to work. Now there's this saying, it's a little crass, but I love it, is that your software or whatever you sell either helps someone get paid, get made, or get laid. These are the only 3 reasons people will take out their credit card or sign a contract or pay you their money. They're either looking to get made, they're looking to get paid, or they're looking to get laid. Now, fortunately for us who are professionals, so when it comes to business software and SaaS businesses, you're not really getting people made. And if you are, it's not going to be a long-term sustainable business, most likely. You're not really getting them laid. What you're really focused on is how do you get them paid? And when you're looking at getting them paid, you're either driving cost savings, you're driving growth, or you're lowering risk. That's it. And so I meet a lot of startup founders that get really complicated on what the result is. And a lot of times the result is not that important, or the result is not tied to someone's comp plan. And all of a sudden it becomes a difficult sale. For ToutApp, we used to sell it on productivity. We help salespeople be more productive. And that was the hardest thing to sell. As soon as we pivoted to look, we help you create more pipeline, it became much, much easier to sell it. So you gotta figure out what exactly is the result that you're delivering so that you fill it in really well. So you can say, look, my company ToutApp creates software for salespeople that helps them create more pipeline. Boom, are you interested? You gotta get to that level of clarity. Now I have one more principle for you, but before I get into that, are you starting to get the difference here? So one thing is, it's actually really hard to get to this very simple definition of your value proposition. What it takes the most of is guidance and actually having the courage to really, really niche down. When you do that, you start to get a lot more traction in the market, and then you can actually expand over time. But it takes some work to actually dig into this. This simple sentence structure is super easy to do, but it actually takes some work. But if you focus on actually getting your ICP niche down, and you really hone in on a result that's tied to a comp plan, everything starts to change. If you're starting to see the difference here, can I just get a yes in the comments below so that I know that you're with me on this? Also, by the way, if you want to dig deeper into this stuff and you're trying to get the story right and the value prop right, this is exactly what we do as part of my SaaS startup school. We help you actually create the value prop in the story and then deploy it through an unstoppable sales funnel. I'll tell you more about that at the end of this video, but let's talk about principle number 3. Principle number 3, and I see this all the time, when it comes to building SaaS software, it's really easy to start positioning yourself as productivity or an improvement. The moment you start to talk about productivity or an improvement, your sales process becomes harder. The moment you can actually shift it from talking about productivity or incremental improvements to an actual transformation to achieve results, everything changes. If you think about it, some of the most successful companies in the world actually pitch transformations. So ToutApp is long gone, but if you look at Outreach and SalesLoft, they're in the sales engagement space. They don't just come and say, we're gonna help you send more emails. They say, we're gonna help you create pipeline. We're gonna help you change how you do sales. We're gonna give you the tooling for that. We're gonna think about your inside sales teams differently. It's a complete transformation to achieve the results, which is to hit your revenue number. It's completely different. And when we did that at ToutApp, it changed everything for us. It actually helped us go from being a small productivity solution to an actual transformation that sales teams adopted to actually change how they went after pipeline. It was super transformational. I saw the same thing in Marketo. Marketo literally wrote a book on how to give CMOs and heads of marketing a seat at the revenue table. They said, look, marketers should get attribution for the revenue they generate. So our platform helps you do that. That was a transformation. It was called demand generation. Like demand generation was born out of that. It was a transformation on how marketing was done. So it's very easy to fall in the trap of saying we're a productivity suite or we're an improvement. No one will care. No one wants to adopt another piece of software to do that. But if you can teach them how to position yourself as a transformation to achieve these results, everything changes. And that's the secret, what we teach within the SaaS school on how to actually position it as a transformation. So to recap everything I talked about, you want to distill your value proposition down to my company blank creates software for the ICP that helps them get a result, which ideally is tied to their comp plan. When you are doing that, you want to niche down on your ICP as much as possible. I'll link to the ICP videos down below. And you also want to recognize that generally SaaS software for businesses focus on getting them paid more, which either results in savings, growth, or lower risk. And that's what you want to be focused on. And lastly, when you are positioning it, do not position it as a productivity software or an improvement. Position it as an actual transformation that you will be driving and you will thrive. Now, if you want help in building all this stuff out, we work with a lot of companies, SaaS businesses that have growth, but they're like, we want bigger growth, or they're in a competitive space and they need to differentiate. If you're in that kind of situation, we would love to work with you as part of the SaaS Startup School. And in the SaaS Startup School, we help you actually hone in on your value proposition and go deploy that through an unstoppable sales funnel. We actually have open enrollment right now. So if you are interested in talking about this, I invite you to a one-on-one strategy call. You and I will get on a Zoom call, and it will be just me, not my team. I work with the people directly. and we'll figure out if we can drive growth for you through an unstoppable sales funnel. If you're interested in that, follow the link below or just go to tkkader.com/apply. And it'll help you answer a few questions. We'll qualify you and then we'll get you on a call. And again, it's with me, not some random team member. I will be talking to you about your SaaS startup's growth. And lastly, look, if you like this video and really got value from these principles, please smash that like button. My team would be elated to see the like button get hit by you. And also, I drop a video like this every Sunday and every Wednesday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notified when I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. And when you are with us, yours is gonna be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I will see you in the next episode.